Sam, I think we are on Facebook already, Sam.
Yes, we are. Over to you, Michael.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Over to you, Michael.
Good morning, wherever you are, especially for those of you who are from London. Thank you for joining us in this particular session of our regular Kangen Distributors Weekly meeting. We will normally invite somebody who is very successful in the business to join us, to share with us some of their thoughts, so that those of us who are still keen in wanting to find out more about Kangen and the Kangen business, how to get it done and doing it successfully, we have this forum here where we have these speakers coming in to share. And today we are very privileged to have Mr. Vivek Bhatnagar from India. Now he is from the medical world, and he's also specialized in oncology, and he's a lot of experience in the medical world. And for him to choose coming into Kangen business, there must be some reason, there must be something good that you have seen. Okay, so let's hear from Vivek. Vivek, if you're on the line, you can unmute yourself and begin to share. Let's give you a big round of applause in the first place. Okay, our traditional Kangen Zoom welcome.
Thank you.
Go ahead and tell us, Vivek, something about your background, and to start off so that we can read on, because I know you got a very nice story to tell about the roots of suffering. You have done a lot of preparation on this, and okay, let's hear from you, Vivek.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everyone. As mentioned, I am Vivek Bhatnagar, and to start with the introduction, I specialize in oncology. I practice quantum medicine, and for the benefit of all of the viewers here, I am a cancer survivor as well. So I was diagnosed of cancer in 2013, and since it took me about 6 months to become cancer-free, and since then, I'm in a great shape till now. Right. Michael, any particular questions you have in your mind, or shall I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. Please share with us some of your wonderful views on the root of suffering before we go on to some other questions. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, friends, this session is going to be a very different session. You know, the kind of information which I'm going to share today, I'm sure everyone would be, benefited by that. And if I'm able to deliver the message right, so I'm sure today what you will get is that nowadays we have been programmed in a mindset, in a particular mindset. That mindset is that our body is very vulnerable, and it is so vulnerable that we cannot survive without the medicine and doctors. So if you get the message right, if I'm able to express myself right, I'm sure many of us would be able to come out of this mindset. The topic, as everyone have read, is roots of suffering. So we'll be coming to that, but I just wanted to, as usual, as I have been doing in every session I have done so far. So I'm going to talk about the basic design of the body, which is 75% of hydration level, and this is default. This is how our body is designed. We cannot change anything about it. We have to live with it. And we can, of course, if we want, we can utilize this information and in the journey to become healthy. Okay, so I belong to a very ancient culture, which is called Sanatan, and it has given a lot of information to the world about science, and it has given some very basic and very important information about mind, body, and spirit. So today we are not going to talk about mind, although when I say mind, I don't mean brain. Mind has a lot of different definitions, subconscious and conscious and consciousness, and so. But today we are not going to talk about it. So today we are going to talk about spirit and the body. So when you talk about body, you know this physical being, our body. And when you talk about spirit, everyone, the science have even proved that it is some kind of energy which comes from somewhere. And after the person dies, it goes somewhere and nobody knows where. So when the spirit comes inside the physical body, it binds with the body. And this bond is with a medium called breath. So your breath is actual means which actually binds your spirit to the body. And when we talk about breath, it is essential for our life, and it is nothing but the element air. When we talk about breath, we have certain patterns of breathing. And different emotions, like anger and love, or it actually affect our breathing pattern. And when you're angry, you breathe in a different pattern. When you show love, you are breathing in a different pattern. So every emotion actually affect this breathing pattern of a person. And this actually, we can say that emotion changes our breathing pattern. So when you talk about emotion, one thought can create a lot of emotions inside here. And these emotions, as I've said, they keep on changing our breathing pattern. And this is how our reality is made in quantum world. So the physical reality, I don't want to go inside the details because it'll be quite confusing for many of us here, but just to brief you about it, the physical reality is affected by the breathing pattern, which are generated by the emotions, which are in turn generated by our thought. So it is said in quantum world that your thought creates your physical reality. How it happens? It happens by the production of certain chemicals and substances inside our body. These can be hormones. These can be enzymes. These can be particular chemical substances like even sodium carbonate. Just to inform you that your kidney, our kidney, produces sodium bicarbonate when it senses that there is too much acidity inside it. So that's the capability of our body. It can produce any chemical in the world. So these chemicals or the substances which are produced in our body, they are of two. They are two nature. They have two characteristics. One, either they contribute in destruction of the cell, or they contribute to the new cell formations. So this, when you talk about our body, which is the collection of trillions of cells, this is the main function which is actually going on. Either the cells are destructed, or the new cells are forming. And you see, it sounds very simplistic. It is very simplistic, but at the background, there are quite a lot of complicated processes involved. And all of these processes, the outcome is one of the two things. Either they destroy the cell, or they contribute into the formation of new cells. So when we talk about cells, cell is the basic is the basic unit of our body. So when we talk about on the molecular structure of our body, it is as simple as anything, that cell has to function properly for our body to work normal or healthily. So when we talk about cell, we say that not even one cell can work normally if it is dehydrated. And when we say that the cell is dehydrated, anything less than what is required. I'm not going to go into how much water is required for a cell. Let's talk about bulk estimation. So if the water is less than it is required, it is supposed to be, it cannot work normally. And when we if we want to make our cell healthy, the first thing we need to focus on is the cell and the sorry, I'm just missing something. Okay, yes, I found it. Michael, just give me a little few seconds here.
Yeah. Don't worry. Recompose yourself.
Okay. Right. So I come back. I missed a few points, so that's why I just cut off with the flow. Right. So this ancient culture, Sanatan, which gave us all the spirit, mind, body connection, they said something very important to us. They give this information to us. Although the breath is one of the most essential part of our life, but they did not say anything about air is being life. What they said is water is life for us. You see, when a doctor is checking someone that someone is alive or not, he's checking, the first thing he checks is the person breathing. So if there's no breath, the spirit is gone. It is so essential that the bond of spirit and body breaks away just with the breath not being there. So air element is so important, so essential, but the knowledge which we have been given by the ancient people, they have said water is life. They did not say air is life. They did not say food is life. They did not say medicine is life. What they said is water is life. So it has a very big meaning. We know this statement, this small little statement for so long, but what did we do about it? In fact, what I found is this is one of the most ignored area of our life. We have never been educated about the most largest part of our body, which is water. We have no idea what kind of water we should drink. We have no idea when should we drink. We have no idea how much we should drink. But at least now someone is talking about it. Right, so when I said that if the cell is dehydrated, it cannot work normally. And if the cell works normally, your body is designed to actually heal, cure, or rejuvenate itself. No disease, no condition is a problem for your body because that's the default design. That's how it has been designed. And the one of the main thing which the body requires to be able to do that is water. Water is actually the foundation of our body. Our body is made on the foundation of water. And this, when I take it a little further, whatever function we talk about of our body, water plays the main role to it. Like whatever we eat, it needs to reach the cells, and the transporter of that thing which you've eaten, it may be a supplement, it may be medicine, it may be food. The transporter is water. So it is very essential that what kind of water we are drinking. So this is one of the roots of whatever suffering we are going through in our life. Without water, the body, which is a perfect machinery, which is designed to cure itself, it cannot work. And that's the reason why there are so many conditions, so many sufferings, so many new diseases, because we are actually focusing on the 25% of the body, whereas this 25% of the body to become healthy is 100% dependent on water, which is the 75%. So if you are in the journey of making yourself healthy, you have no other choice. You need to focus on water. I heard a few questions new people asked about different conditions, cysts, fibroid, or something else. See, you need to understand. I've been telling this before. You need to understand what is disease. By definition, disease is nothing but the malfunction of a cell. So the more cells malfunction, the bigger the disease. And when you talk about disease, if you want to cure, if you want to heal, you need to understand the root cause. You need to understand the disease itself, what is causing it. And if you understand what causes the disease, you can find the solution yourself. You don't need anything. You don't need anyone to guide you there. So, but there are certain conditions which we are going to talk about later in this session, and so I just said that disease is nothing but the malfunction of cell. People who have attended my previous sessions, they might remember that I have given a different definition for cure. Cure is nothing but replacing or replacing the malfunctioning cells or repairing the malfunctioning cells, which is done solely by our body. And the way how the body cures itself is that it makes new cells and replaces the ones which are malfunctioning. So if I'm able to explain you a little bit more, if there is any disease concerning any organ, maybe heart, let's talk about. So if there is an issue in heart, if there is some disorder in the heart, it means that the function of the cells of the heart is not normal. The cells of the heart are not functioning the way they should function. And if your body is able to replace enough malfunctioning cell with a normal working cell, your body should be able to rectify this issue. And this is how body is able to cure itself. So now let's talk about what the body needs to cure itself, or rather what the body needs to start making enough working new cells so that it can cure itself. For this, I always quote a book called Healing is Voltage, which is written by Dr. Jerry Tennant. I recommend that every distributor of Enagic should go through this book because it's very, very informative, and it gives you a lot of knowledge. It gives you a lot of confidence if you know certain things about Kangen. Dr. Jerry describes, he states that every cell in our body is designed to operate on -25 millivolts of charge. And in other words, if the cell has -25 millivolts of charge, it is supposed to be healthy. If this charge goes down, the cell becomes sick, or if the cell becomes sick, it means the charge is going down. And just for the information, when you talk about the cell which is cancerous, it is operating on +30 millivolts of charge. Now, to be able to make new cells, our body needs to provide to our cell -50 millivolts of charge. So if my body is able to provide this charge of -50 millivolt to the cells will duplicate. They will reproduce in a healthy way, and the daughter cells which will be produced would be able to work normally because they will be normal, healthy cells. So that means that we need to raise this negative charge to an optimum amount so that our cell starts to duplicate, starts to reproduce, and are able to replace the ones which are not working or malfunctioning, which are causing disease or conditions. So just to give you the significance of negative charge, I would like to give you information here that there is an organ in our body which is heart, which cannot suffer from cancer, which resist cancer whole our life. And when I came to know about this, I did some research, and I found that the only visible reason was that the heart cell is designed to operate on minus 120 millivolts. So the heart cell is actually operating on minus 120 millivolts, because rest everything is same, more or less same with the rest of the cells in the body. But the only difference I found was that the negative voltage is different than other cells, and the result of this is that heart never suffers from cancer, no matter what the doctors might say about it. But when you talk about the core heart cell, it never suffers from cancer. And so now we know the significance of minus voltage in our cells. So there are different ways how to supplement or how to increase this negative charge. The first thing is that we need to bring down the acidic level of the cells, because once the cell become acidic or hyperacidic, the rate of oxidation increases. It is directly related. These two conditions, the oxidation, the rate of oxidation, and the acidity, they are directly related to each other. You raise the acidity and the rate of oxidation goes up. Oxidation is nothing but, in other words, it's free radical damage, where the negative charge goes down, or the electrons are converted into positive charge. So once the acidity goes up, the rate of oxidation also goes up. So when you bring down the acidic level of the cell, how do you do that? You simply try to make the environment opposite to acidic environment, which is alkaline. And if you are able to do this, the loss of electrons stops, and the number of electrons present in the cell, you can actually sustain that charge, that negative charge. The free radical damage stops or slows down, if not stop. So it slows down significantly if the environment in the cell is alkalized. And I remember here there was one question about alkalization of the body, alkalosis. I have never ever heard even of one patient who has suffered from alkalosis. It is something which is nearly impossible in the current lifestyle we live in. Why? Because whatever we are eating, it is highly processed, and highly processed foods actually create acidity inside our body. And if we are able to, even we are able to save ourselves by eating non-processed or non-refined foods, the stress level today in the world is so much that it creates acidity inside our body. The stress is one of the highest contributor when we talk about acidity in our cells. So when we live in an environment where there is a lot of stress, our body becomes acidic, our cells are becoming acidic. So people should not worry about drinking Kangen water can make their body totally alkalized or more towards alkalosis. It's just not possible in today's age. So And of course, you can always look into the past, how many patients have been reported in the hospital with the condition called alkalosis. So do not go for what people say. In fact, you should research. And whatever information I'm giving you, it's not, first of all, it's not something which is mine. I've just researched about it, and I have tried to link these informations in such a way that people can actually utilize this information in their journey for being healthy. So I want that you should not believe these pieces of information, but rather go and do your own research and find your truth yourself. But yes, if you are getting this information, I'm sure it'll raise some kind of curiosity in you. That just wonder if this is true, how it can actually, how it can actually, what difference it can make in your life. So I promised that I would be discussing few conditions, particularly so that people here are benefited. And once you know the root cause of diseases, I'm sure you would be able to find better answers. To start with, the most common thing today is when people are troubled with cysts, fibroid, and tumors. What I have found is that the basic reason for all these conditions which are named are the infections, and the infections need acidic environment to grow. So if you are able to bring down the acidic level, so definitely this will contribute in these conditions to contribute to help in this condition. I'm sorry. So this again links back to the kind of water we drink, because now Kangen water, as you know, is alkaline. It has a reach inside the cell because it is microclustered. It is very thin water, so your cells can actually absorb more water and flush themselves out, so that they could bring down the acidic level. And I've just told that what acidity contributes in these conditions. So next is blood pressure. When you talk about blood pressure, first of all, let me tell you, the numbers doesn't count here, because blood pressure depends on lot of factors. It depends on the activities, your daily activities, your lifestyle. But the first and foremost thing is the water you drink. Because if you're drinking less water, the blood becomes thick, and it directly affects your blood pressure. So it is essential for you to drink right kind of water in the right amount, so that the viscosity of the blood is maintained. And again, our Kangen water contributes a lot when you talk about the viscosity of the blood, because I'm sure you can find a lot of videos where people have done live blood analysis. It's also called dark field analysis, where people have shown that within 10 minutes of drinking Kangen water, it can actually show under the microscope the difference between before drinking the Kangen water and after drinking Kangen water. So this is about blood pressure. And next is the heart conditions, very important because we are, this is one of the biggest pandemic humanity is suffering from. According to my experience, what I have in my practice, what I've seen, whenever a person comes to me with a heart condition, any heart issues, I found that there has been a chronic, very long associated urinary infection. These urinary infections can be in the urine bladder, in prostate, in urethra, or even the kidneys. So what happens is when there is an infection in urinary tract, it actually, and when it becomes chronic, it actually starts to block the passage of urine. And this blockage of passage creates a back pressure, which is directly affecting the function of the heart. And so whenever the patient comes to me for any heart issue, so what I do is I focus on the urinary tract system, and most of the time, the patient is treated successfully by simply taking care of the urine issues. So, and same thing happens to the prostate issues as well. So I have found similar infections when it comes to the prostate. And the next condition I want to talk about is migraine. This condition it raises a lot of eyebrows. It affects almost more than 60% of the world population today. And there are certain factors like stress, acidity, which contributes, but no one knows why this happens. What I have found is that due to certain things, due to certain factors, the vessels of the brain, they shrink. And when they shrink, the pressure of the blood, that's the blood pressure, actually your heart, when it tries to pump the blood into the brain with the shrink veins, it creates a pain. And I have tried to ask this question to many doctors, but they know that this happens, but they don't know why it happens. What I have found is it happens mainly due to a hyperacidic level inside our body. And when the acidity increases, this condition occurs again and again. And I myself used to suffer from migraine very badly. There was once time. Then if you are able to drink enough water and alkalize the acidic environment, this is one of the first condition to disappear. And I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of good words about drinking a particular kind of water, and the migraine disappears. All right, so this is about migraine. Next condition I would like to talk about is arthritis. This condition is caused by infections and hyperacidic cells. You see, whatever I have discussed so far, you must have observed there's a link between the acidic level of the cell or your body and the infections, a load of infections. So as I've said, that infections need acidic environment to grow. And if you are able to bring down this acidic level, you not only bring down the chances of overload of infections, but also what you do is you bring down the rate of oxidation, which is the actual cause of the cell disintegration of destruction of cells. So I hope this takes care of most of the questions which have been asked. Let me see if I've left something. Okay, I think I've covered all.
Yes, you have covered a lot, doctor. I think if I were to talk to you privately, you're going to charge me a lot. But from what you have shared with us today, you made it very simple for us to understand some of the problems of our life. Very simple words, that you use, make it so simple for us to understand that water is actually life. But for a layman like me, I believe it so much. I recently got a orchid plant from one of my consumers. Lovely
Okay,
orchid
Michael,
plant.
I just missed out one very important condition, which is root, which is RCT, which is root canal. It is quite controversial. So I wanted to miss it, but somehow I think I should cover this as well. I'll tell you what I found in my practice. When a patient comes to me, especially for cancer, especially when you talk about breast cancer, the first question I ask to the patient is, do you have a root canal? And 98% of the times, every breast cancer patient, unfortunately, had root canal. And what I found is, if the root canal is on the left side of the jaw, the first tumor which comes in the breast is on the left side. So, and if it is on the right side, the root canal is on the right side, the first appearance or the occurrence of the tumor is on the right breast. It is not only connected to breast cancer, but it is definitely connected to most of the chronic conditions. Why is it is? It is because our every tooth is connected to a pathway which is called meridian. This meridian is the pathway of this negative charge which I've been talking about for so long. So that negative charge goes through this meridian, and this particular meridian, which is connected to a particular tooth, is traveling all through your body and connecting to particular organs. So it is seen that if on a particular tooth there is the root canal which is done, it affects that negative charge to travel, it blocks rather, to travel to those organs. And all those organs which are connected to that particular meridian gets affected. So what I have found is that when I tell my patients to take care of the root canal, by taking care, it means taking out that root canal. And once they do that, within 72 hours, 80% of the symptoms, the sufferings of those chronic conditions which the patient comes to me for, just disappear. And I don't want you to believe what I'm saying, but there are certain books, there are certain coverage where this issue has been discussed in depth. There are so many experts. One of the experts is Dr. Jerry Tennant. He talks about it a lot in his book, Healing is Voltage. And this root canal issue is really, really serious. You should, in fact, look into it and research about it. And thank you, Michael, for giving me a little more time on this.
Thank you very much too, Dr. Vivek. Thank you for bringing up the importance of cellular health. This is basically what we are talking about in Kangen too. And also thank you for bringing in the relevance of this ORP meter demo that we do when we go and show people about the usefulness or the importance or the benefit of Kangen water. By the way, ORP means oxidative reduction potential. Doctor just mentioned, you know, the ORP of orange is -50. At -80, cancer cells die. And we are also showing it, you know, how Kangen water has an ORP of between -400 to even -700 sometimes. Thank you, doctor. Thank you very much. But I like to come back to this particular question, because when I talk about you, a lot of people say, hey, how come an oncologist like you is interested in doing Kangen water? Besides what you just explained, can you tell us in very simple terms, no, what attracted you to Kangen water?
See, when I was treating cancer patients, I was always, in the search of things which could actually help my patients. And once we, once I came to know about the significance of negative charge in treating cancer and chronic conditions. So the first thing is the ORP, the negative ORP, or the negative charge in this water, which actually attracted me. And there are many ways to supplement this negative charge, but how simple is it that you are supplementing negative charge, the most important thing what your body needs, just by drinking water? And this is one of the things which got me into Kangen.
Here you are very involved now with the Kangen business because of the benefits that you have shared now to a lot of your friends and relatives. How long did it take you to become a 6A doctor?
Well, I'm a very lazy person, and it took me nearly 2 years because I've had a very busy, hectic schedule because of my practice. But it took me nearly 2 years to become 6A. And but in these 2 years, I have found quite a lot of wisdoms. In fact, I would like to give this wisdom to people here. I found the basic requirement for being able to do this business successfully is simple communication. If you know how to speak to people, if you love to speak to people, just communicate to people, that's the only requirement you need for this business. I just remember one instance I would like to quote here. I met a person very recently, maybe last month, and I was talking about Kangen to him. He said, I don't like people. I don't like to talk to people. I was thinking in my mind, is he a normal person? Because if a prospect tells you that he doesn't like to talk to people, he's born into people, he's living in amongst the people, and if someone says this to you, he has to go to the doctor to consult because he's not normal. You cannot survive without talking to people. And if you don't like, then the person needs medication. I think he needs to take care of himself. And Kangen is one thing which only needs you to communicate the truth. And if you really don't like to talk, what you can do simply is to share the water and let the water do the talking for you, because there have been so many testimonies and my experience as well. I've been sharing a lot of water, and by just simply sharing the water, people just get along with you, and they buy this machine because they find out that this water is just amazingly magical.
Wow, that's good advice, doctor. Share the water. Sometimes no need to talk that much because our product talks for itself. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's remarkable, to know that a gentleman like you, professional like you, got to like our Kangen water. Let me go back to something which a lot of people are interested in finding out, How did this Kangen water help you to make you decide come in and spend more time in building up this business?
Well, I came to know about this water a long time back. My mentor, Webster Care, he's from America, and he is into natural treatments for cancer more than about 35 years now. So he suggested me that he told me that he suggests patients Kangen water. So because he said, he suggests, so I did not understand what Kangen water is, but I started telling people about there's a water which is called Kangen. And I didn't know anything about it, but simply because my mentor used to say that I started. But in 2018, when my elder brother, Dr. Rajkumar Bhatnagar, came to me, and he actually suggested me that I should go through this information. That was the first time I came to know about the goodness, about the reasons why this Kangen water is magical. And since then, it has become a rule: if the person want me to treat, he need to change his water. Because you see, as I said in my presentation, if you do not focus on the 75% of your body, which is water, you cannot get long-lasting results.
Yeah, you make a lot of sense, Doctor there. Look after the 75%. 1% change is a lot. Look after 25%, 1% change doesn't make that much difference. Thank you for sharing. Sam, if you are around, Sam, would you have any questions to ask Doctor while he's around?
Yes, I do actually. Thank you, Doctor, for coming to share your insights.
Pleasure.
Right, and let me see. I'm trying to get myself into the. Yep, I'm okay. I'm on now. All right, good. Can I just take it, but sort of what do you call? I'd like you to expand a bit on, or rather to repeat on what you've just said. Did you say that 98% of people with root canal has, or rather, I think you said that 98% of people with
who came to me?
Okay, let's hear from you. Something, yeah. I just want.
I knew, Sam, this question is going to come.
Okay.
All right. Let me repeat. Okay. So I specialize in oncology, and I get a lot of cancer patients. Okay. And when I get breast cancer patients, this is the first thing I ask them: how many root canals you have, or do you have root canals or not? And 98% of the time, these breast cancer patients have root canals. And the first thing we do is to take out those that root canal procedure. And yes, I said within 72 hours of taking out the root canal tooth, up to 80% of the symptoms just vanish. And this is just amazing. It's just like magic. people are, they couldn't believe that it was happening just because of this tooth.
Can I say something on root canal?
Yeah, please.
I've had three root canals done in my mouth in the last 1 year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I know I heard from Bernard Chan, I heard from you, and you asked me to get it out of, to remove it.
There's no other option. There's no other option.
I know. I did speak with a very senior doctor who's 61 this year, and he's an anesthetist. And this guy is a functional doctor. I went to speak to him just about 2 weeks ago, just to ask him this question. I got two friends who speak to me to ask me to remove my root canal. I want to hear your view. You know what the doctor said? I'm sorry to say that your two friends are correct.
Yeah.
So I'm now in the process of looking for the right dentist to remove that. And I would like to also just add, okay, he also said to me, not only just root canals, amalgam fillings with mercury, all right? Remove those amalgam fillings with which has mercury.
Anything which has silver color in your teeth, which has been put by any doctor, you should take it out because it has mercury.
I've got 6 of them. I've had 6 of them in my mouth for a lifetime already. Yeah. So that's another thing that I've got to remove. One second, let me just handle something here.
Yes, Bernard, I get your point. You cannot go to any dentist to take out this root canal. You need to find a biological dentist. There are very less in the world. In fact, when I talk about India, I could find only one dentist who is fortunately in Delhi. So you cannot go to any dentist and say that, tell the hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go on.
Yes, you loud and clear, doctor.
All right. So you need to find a biological dentist to do the job because they are the only people who are trained professionally to take care of this issue. Otherwise, it'll be again worse than the problem you're facing right now.
Right. Dr. Vivek, there's been a request. Would you be able to give the name of the dentist to the people on the chat here?
Dental Ally is the name of the clinic in Delhi. Dental Ally.
As in A-double-L-I?
Yes.
A-double-L-Y.
Why?
Okay.
Hello.
All right. Thanks for that. Yep. Please continue. Yeah. So I think I've just got a message from a disputer to he say that, Sam, I'm learning so much from Dr. Vivek's session. All right. And he's got a request here. What is his request? Okay. All right. Actually, he's requesting for a recording of the session. And the record actually you can find a recording of this session on my Facebook page. I'm going to send the link there. Okay. What else, Michael?
Oh, today doctor shared a lot of useful information, and I'm sure for those who have stayed behind, you would have got a lot of valuable points which can help you, build up this business. Because if an oncologist can believe in us, well, this says a lot. And then on other occasions, we have even architects coming on to share with us, trainers, or even Sam. Sam is in the, accountancy field. He's also in this business with us. So there are lots of wonderful, professionals with us now. Feel inspired. Go out and share this Kangen water with people who want to hear. Okay. So thank you once again, Dr. Vivek. for your wonderful sharing. I'm sure a lot of people here, have a lot of questions, but I'm sorry we cannot answer every one of them because of the time factor. Okay, so I'll pass it back to Sam. Sam.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Let's all give a big hand to Dr. Vivek Banaga and also Michael Saw. All right. I just like to, Michael, if you could also stay on here. I think what's most important is this. I think all of you here, you're in this meeting here to pick up additional tools and resources to help you with your business. Okay, and for me, one of the most important things that we need to do is to continually upgrade ourselves, expand our perspective. And I'd like to just now talk about, okay, maybe I will not hold you back, Michael, okay? Is to talk about a very, very important event for people who want to really build a business, okay? And this event is called GoPro by Eric Worre, which is going to be happening from the 3rd to the 5th of December, which is coming up in another 7 to 8 weeks' time. And I just cannot stress the importance of this event. Now, this event is, I'd like to perhaps also get Bernard Chan to come and speak about this event. But before that, let me just tell you a bit more about this event. Okay. Now, we have trainings for Energic distributors. All right, the Essential Kangen workshop, then we have the Energic events, all right? And outside of Energic, right, we are in this industry called direct selling or network marketing, okay? And one of the most important things that you got to do for yourself is to attend proven programs. So the GoPro event is something which has been happening year in, year out for the last 10 years. Okay, I would say that it is perhaps the number one training event that people like us in our industry need to attend for us to really understand this game on how to build a business, not just about selling. Okay, now in this 3-day program in GoPro, you will be able to really build your level of understanding. And let's say if you are, whether you are new in this industry or whether you are a veteran in this industry, okay, it's going to take your understanding, it's going to take your insight, your level. If you want to build your business, if you want to really upgrade your skills, this is the training that you got to attend. It's called GoPro by Eric Worre. Is Bernard in the room? I'd like to get Bernard to just speak a bit on this. Bernard Chan, are you there, Bernard? I'm going to get you to be a co-host.
Bernard is in.
Bernard, are you there?
He is. He's in the room.
Yeah, but it matter whether he's okay. Bernard, I'll make you a co-host now. Can you just come on to speak for about 2 or 3 minutes?
Yes. Okay, I'd like to tell you guys, I'm very excited to share this because it changed my life. Now, number one, I just like to mention that many $1 million per year and multiple $1 million a year earners are minted out of this event. Okay, many of the top leaders in Energic, why are they top leaders and many others are not? There is only one differentiating factor. That differentiating factor is called perspective. Sam, would you agree with me?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So GoPro is able to unleash that perspective much better than most places because it's shared by people who have no agenda but to give back, making how they became $1 million earners. And they give back to some of them, yeah, as I said, because of GoPro, they became $1 million earners. Number two, some of them were already $1 million earners and they are sharing how they became $1 million earners. So question, would you like to learn from which would you prefer, $1 million earner or $50,000 a year earner? All due respect to someone who's earning $50,000 a year, there is something to learn, but which one can we learn more from? Okay, so it's kind of obvious. Next, personal development. Eric Worre will be usually he has been inviting people of a motivational speaker stature, the top like Tony Robbins, blah, 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 and so on, to be speaking as well. So number one, perspective of our MLM industry will broaden. And when our perspective broadens, our ability to do the MLM Kangen business increases as well. Example, when your perspective broadens, you are able to take a rejection better than before. Yeah, because your perspective has broadened. Then you get to hear from the success cases, people who suffered, who couldn't succeed, and now they're succeeding, the down and out people, and now they're $1 million, $2, $3, $4 million earners, and so on per year. Okay, a good friend of mine, she was earning $500,000 a month. And 1 year later, she's earning $600,000 a month. I mean, that's ridiculous. And they are attending this event. $500,000 a month in this industry, and they're still attending, learning. Why? What more lesser beings like us? So, and the last thing is Sam and myself and many of us had to pay money, fly with the inconvenience of flying and staying in hotel and so on to attend. Today, Eric Worre is coming to your living room. Not only that, Eric Worre is coming to your prospects' living room and your downline's living room if you invite them. So can I suggest, number one, sign up to attend. More equally important, work so hard to invite as many people and let the event do the hard work for you to increase the perspective. Yeah, that's it. Over to you, Sam.
All right, thank you, Bernard. All right, so okay, okay, this thing is happening on the 3rd. Would somebody be able to share the link for this event? Okay, and for those people who okay, by the way, who here has attended GoPro in the past? Last year, can you just type in? Okay, can you just type in you know, if you attended, just type in yes that you've done it. Okay, a few of them here, and can we hear? Would y'all like to hear from them what their experience was? Can each of you, right? Instead of perhaps, can you just type in something in under 10 words about your experience with GoPro, and whether you're going to be coming in to attend again, and what it's done for you. Please do that for the benefit of it's brought David out of retirement. Okay, and now can somebody help to share the link for the event which is coming for people to sign up? And I've got good news. Okay, I think the event is going for $197 US, but many of the leaders here, they have actually bought the early bird tickets for which they did for $97 US. Okay, so I would suggest that you get in touch with your leaders if you want to attend this event. And by the way, I would highly encourage that you don't just attend it yourself. Get together. In fact, you can share together to buy one ticket, and y'all can go into one what they call physical premise to watch this 3-day event. And it's going to be, you know, what I can say to you is it's going to be mind-blowing for you when you attend this. Okay, so the link, okay, that's the link there. Bernard, that's the link there. Guys, that's the link there which is shared by Bernard. But before you go in there to check it out, but before you actually sign up for this, which is going for 197, contact your leaders. Some of them may still have some early bird tickets left to which is available. So with that, we're going to call a conclusion to the meeting today. All right, and I'm now going to unmute everybody for you to say your highs and byes. All right, so yes,
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, then see you guys. All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael, and thanks, Dr. Vivian. Very enriching.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Sure,
you.
okay. Now I think Vasan, I think you're raising your hand. Okay, let's you have a question to ask. Okay, go ahead, Vasan.
Thank you so much, Sam. I'm very happy because this is the first meeting that I have attended, and I'm glad for such a valuable information. Kind of couple of questions. I just wish if you can help me understand better. May I ask?
Now this we don't have time for sessions
Alright.
for our sessions because if you have questions, type in the chat box. But we have to end our meeting. Come back
Alright.
again next week and type in your questions there, or just check up with your uplines. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right,
so
then.
much.
So with that, okay, I'm going to say bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you again next week. All right, take care. And once more, let's give a big hand to Dr. Vivek Banaga. That was so enlightening. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Let's give a big hand to Michael Saw.
Thank you,
And thanks
Sam.
to-
And let's give a big hand to Sam too for
Thank you. And
organizing
let's
this
also give a
wonderful
big hand to
session.
Bernard.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
All right, then. Take care then. Bye-bye.